Chubstep.
Creating the oil of judgment.
Steed.
Chub. Step.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the king of the jungle.
How is your father?
He went insane. He lives in a nut house now.
Oh. Well, the next time you see him, you tell him Sally Pomerantz from Chicago said hello.
He won't understand that. Talking to him is like talking to Bugs Bunny.
Well, then you tell him what's up, Doc.
Thank you. That'll mean a lot to him.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
And the show started.
Welcome back. Another week. Another week has gone by. You're closer to death, even though you might not feel like it.
Very positive, dude. Very positive.
Speaking the truth.
Okay, there we go. Oh, good way to start it. Hot show start. We're gonna have Frat Sullivan join at some point here.
Yeah, he's
official frat expert.
Need some help with some frat guy stuff. So whenever he joins, we'll get into that. Jay, I want to talk some celeb news.
Okay,
a little celeb segment.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, 2 parts celeb segment. This is like our TMZ e-news portion.
Oh yeah, Vaughn TMZ. That's what we should add. Vaughn's coming on, I think, next week. So he can reiterate what you're saying, I'm sure.
Okay, good. So JT, Justin Timberlake, DUI, boom, done. He got it.
I feel like it's a rite of passage for most celebrities to get a DUI.
Yeah, he's 43, which is I think younger than I thought he would be.
I would agree. I actually thought he was, same.
At this time. So yeah, he was being a silly boy, got a DUI. Refused a breathalyzer 3 times. Looks great in his mugshot. Looks a little sleepy maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, who cares?
There's some bad mugshots out there.
From celebrities, yeah, he looks good. I mean, yeah, he could do with a little shave, maybe a little cleanup, but his hair is on point.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at the pic right now. I'm really pretty impressed. It's better than most DMV photo pictures, I would say.
Such a symmetrical face on the guy.
Yes, and kind of a nice gray bottom of his beard, kind of the goatee part of his beard looks very nice.
Yeah, he's showing the 43. He's not trying to hide it.
Exactly. He's owning it. He's owning up to it. There was also that one guy that got famous because he had the hot
mugshot guy.
Hot mugshot guy.
Yeah.
He got like a modeling career after that.
Yeah, I think he blew it somehow.
I also believe that it didn't end overly well.
Yeah. So that's too bad.
Criminal. Yeah.
So of course we are pro drinking and driving. Are we on this podcast?
I would say pretty anti.
Okay, we're anti. Sorry. So we will no longer play Justin Timberlake songs in our intro.
Okay, yes. We'll refrain from any Justin going forward. It's not going to happen. Sorry.
Yeah. And then other big piece of news, celeb news, not really celeb, but he's a big public figure. Bill Belichick making the rounds.
Oh yeah, dating a super young girl, right?
He's dating a 24-year-old, and old Bill, he is 72.
Yeah.
Who knew Bill Belichick had it in him?
That seems like, if anybody doesn't know his personality, he seems like the last person that would be like that. That would be into a younger girl.
Oh my god, yeah. He's just looks so boring.
He's like this curmudgeonly, old man that he just seems like he hates everything. Now you hear stories and people say he has a good sense of humor if you know him and stuff like that, but the persona that he puts on is that he's kind of this old crabby guy.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Yeah.
That's what hot 24-year-olds are looking for nowadays.
Could the money be a factor, Stu? That's the question.
Money might be a factor, but
okay.
So he broke up with his last girlfriend. He was married, got divorced, and he was dating his last girlfriend for like a long time.
Okay.
And she was only 60, so she was
Oh,
11
okay.
years younger. They've been dating since '07.
Okay. A little more age appropriate, though, I'd say.
Yeah, and they broke up in 2023.
Now,
And for 60, she's hot.
okay.
Bill Belichick has been crushing it with the ladies.
Okay, good. Now, would you say, based on the look of Bill Belichick's new girlfriend, she's an old soul?
She does seem like an old soul in the one picture that they posted. She's apparently very into birding. She's a birdie girl, likes looking at birds.
Okay, or the singer birdie. Which one is it? She likes viewing birds?
Yeah, viewing birds.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got a cosmetology license.
That's good.
I don't want to stereotype the cosmetology girls, but they always seemed a little crazy to me.
Okay.
And she's a former cheerleader, so she knows the game of football.
Exactly. She's a sports girl. They can talk sports all day, I'm sure.
Yeah, they know they can talk about sports, and he doesn't have a job. I don't know if he was looking to get back into coaching. How do you think this would affect his chances at landing another NFL job?
I think this helps him relate to younger players. So I think this would actually help him in his job search.
Okay. I mean,
yeah.
Should I be offended at the relationship? 50-year age gap? She's an adult. I don't know. Little weird? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But if I was 70 and I managed to pull like a 24-year-old.
Yeah, you're not exactly. I mean, he's divorced, right? It's not like he was cheating on his wife. If the girl is into it, I mean, good on him for whatever.
He's doing it by the books.
Yes, he's doing it by the books. He dated somebody closer to his age. That didn't work out. His marriage didn't work out. He's trying something new, right? Mixing it up. Give it a shot. Give love a shot. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah. And all right. So we're in favor of Bill Belichick. Good.
So, Steed, I wanted to ask you, we got a listener request here. On a previous podcast, you had said the words, when menopause is being referred to, you said, oh, like when your uterus falls out.
Yeah,
so
that's what happens.
Okay, so I was wondering, the listeners were wondering to know, do you know what menopause is? Speaking of older people here.
I am 90% sure it's when your uterus falls out.
Okay. Interesting. So that typically doesn't happen.
What?
Yeah. Did you actually? I don't even know. The reality, I don't even care if this is like in a joke way or not. But just for the record, either way, for the record, it's not typically how that happens. I'm sure has that happened. I'm sure it has at some point.
Okay. Well, what happens then?
It's when you've gone 12 months without your menstrual cycle. This is girl talk.
I don't know.
Okay, so what's the big deal then? They should be happier instead of angry.
I think there's just a lot of I'm going to explain menopause.
Explain it.
As a male in my 30s, I'll explain menopause. I think there's a lot of hormones and stuff that happens when menopause is going on.
Well, I know hot flashes are involved.
Yep.
Because the body's heating up to consume the uterus.
It's absorbing it.
Yeah.
Well, is it falling out or is it absorbing it itself?
It dissolves.
Or
it.
Is it?
It breaks it down.
It dissolves
and
the connecting tissue. Yeah.
They pee it out.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I shouldn't be questioning a scientist like yourself.
That's what
about
happened.
This.
Look it up.
Yeah. Okay.
Look it up.
I did. Here's the thing. I actually did look that up. I can't find anything to back up what you're saying, but I'm sure that's just because I'm bad at searching the internet.
Can your uterus fall out? Yep. Whoa. And I was right about where it comes out of. And
okay.
I just by Googling this, I'm done. I'm not clicking on any of the links. I read the little blurbs and I'm done looking into that.
Perfect.
Oh God.
I wanted to do a follow-up on last week's episode where we talked about Joey Chestnut. We talked way too long about the hot dog eating contest.
Yeah, we did.
But almost immediately after
we're gonna talk more about it too when
Yes.
Pat comes on. But go ahead.
So even though Joey Chestnut was apparently kicked out of the Nathan's hot dog eating contest, which is in less than a month, him and Kobayashi are doing their own hot dog eating contest. I think it's live on Netflix in September.
Yep. They're going to get way more views than
which I am way more interested in than the 4th of July contest.
Yeah.
I just wanted to follow up. It's interesting that all that happened. I don't know if they had this planned all along, because that seems like such a fast turnaround. Because like that news came out and then it was like a day later, they're like, hey, we're doing this competition. Right? The timing's interesting.
I bet he knew he probably knew he wasn't gonna do. Yeah, I don't know. The timing is interesting.
Yeah.
But I mean, how long would it take for Netflix? Some Netflix guy, it would take him 2 seconds to be like, hey, Kobe, hey, freaking whatever.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, you don't need a lot of time to set up a folding table with a bunch of hot dogs. Yeah.
You get 2 cameras and a PA. Like,
yeah, good point.
Okay.
They were like, all right, we could do this pretty easy. Actually, we kind of dropped the ball there. We should have done it live on Chubstep.
Damn it.
On YouTube. Yeah. We would have had the first we could have done it live. Would help there.
Well, then Netflix would have offered it to him. He would have backed out. We could have sued him.
Exactly.
We could have gotten a studio.
Exactly. That's right.
Chubstep
That's right.
studio.
And also check us out on YouTube, Chubstep Podcast. On there, Steve's working on, as we mentioned last time, he's working on those nice thumbnails.
I gotta get more thumbnails out. I gotta sit down when I do the thumbnails. I gotta be in a specific zone.
Yeah, thumbnails are actually more important than the content of the video. So so people know that.
If you want to be featured in a thumbnail, email us a reaction shot of you.
Don't
worry about the background. I can clear the background. I've got
chubstep.podcast@gmail.com. If you want your picture to be featured in a reaction, like in one of our thumbnails, send just any reaction shot of you or whoever you want to be featured to the email, and we'll add it. Steve will add it to the thing.
Got a lot of episodes to make thumbnails for. So
that's right. Okay, I know we got a guest coming on soon, but in the meantime, I wanted to do a Chub history here.
Blood alone moves the wheels of history!
Have you ever asked yourselves in an hour of meditation, which everyone finds during the day, how long we have been striving for greatness?
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
America is the richest, most powerful nation on earth. If America was a woman, America would be a big titty woman. And everybody loves a big titty woman.
In less than an hour, aircraft from here will join others from around the world. And you will be launching the largest aerial battle in the history of mankind.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chub history.
Please clap.
Can you see this?
Yes. This guy's on a submarine, and some guys just pulled some other guys onto the submarine.
Okay. So,
and it's black and white, like war footage.
Sure.
Big Army submarine, Navy submarine.
Yep. Okay.
Dapper lads.
So exactly. So what you were seeing there was the footage of George H.W. Bush.
Oh, big
getting
Bush.
rescued in World War II. This was a story that I actually learned from my wife. Shockingly,
yes,
she knew about
her political views.
her huge George H.W. This is H.W. Keep in mind, this is H.W. Not Dub, not W. So George H.W. No idea why she knew this story, but she told me this. Anyway, George H.W. Bush was rescued in World War II in the Pacific theater, if you will. In September of 1944. He was a pilot. He was actually the youngest pilot in the Navy at the time.
Ooh.
And he was 18. He had just become 18. He was assigned to a 3-person Avenger dive bomber. He was actually the youngest aviator in the U.S. Navy. So it's kind of a crazy feat.
Can you imagine being 18? You just joined the Navy and they're like, all right, we're going to need you to dive bomb the Japanese.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Exactly. So his mission in World War II was to bomb this island called Chichijima. Chichijima. I think it's Chichijima. Let's try that.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a lot of CHs and a lot of there's 3 I's in there.
I know some of these words.
Anyway, it's kind of between Saipan and Japan, so it's closer to Japan than Saipan is. But
Thank you for using Saipan instead of Guam, the much larger island.
I wanted to use
Greg lives
Saipan
there.
because Chubstep Greg, who's been on the show before, if you remember that, lives in Saipan. So I want to use that as a reference. Even though nobody knows where Saipan is. Okay, so basically their plan was to bomb this. They dropped 4 500-pound bombs on the island, and then they were struck with flak. So flak, for those that people don't know, it's a big cannon that shoots up into the air at a certain distance and explodes and kind of shoots shrapnel out to try to blow up airplanes. So George W. Bush, he's the pilot, right? He's seeing the smoke coming out of the plane, and instead of landing on the island, because they've heard all the stories about the Japanese Japanese capturing, soldiers, he's like, all right, I'm going to try to land in the water and hope I get rescued by one of our boats. So he jumps out with the parachute. He's fine. One of the other guys' parachutes doesn't deploy, and then the third guy doesn't even make it out of the plane. So he's the only one of the 3 that survives this plane crash. But there was 8 other during this bombing raid, 8 other crew that basically crashed their planes also, but ended up having to get captured on the island. So he decides to land his plane in the water a little bit offshore in hopes of getting rescued. They're like, I'm gonna just whatever. They crashed on the island. That's where they landed. He is on this kind of inflatable raft at the time, which apparently those planes had inflatable rafts. Who knew? And he's got his guys, his other pilots that were in this raid surrounding him in the water, while these Japanese boats try to capture this plane. They see him in the water. They try to send a boat out, try to get it, but luckily the Americans are kind of circling, stopping this from happening. Okay. He ends up getting saved by, as you saw in the video, a submarine popping up out of nowhere. The submarine just pops out of nowhere and saves him. Right. That's so crazy. Cool communication for the 40s, right? That they were able to radio a submarine to come pick up this guy
underwater. Hey, bro, pop your head up. We need you to pick somebody up. And if I just survived the crash, so you're 18, you dive bomb.
Yeah.
Some boat island. Then you crash. Then you're in the water, and then a submarine pops up. I'd be like, is this a literal dream?
Yes,
and then
exactly.
I'm not going in the submarine though. They're gonna have to find some other.
Yeah. So I do want to clarify. He was actually, at the time this happened, he was 20. He was just 18 when he started in the Navy for World War II. But still,
that's
crazy
younger
young.
than Bill Belichick's girlfriend.
Exactly. That's a good perspective here. So here's the crazy thing that happened though. So he survives this, right? He kind of makes a smart move, gets picked up by the Americans. It works out for him. The other 8 people that landed on Chichijima, they had quite a different experience than George H.W. Bush. So the eight people that landed on the island all died. And so for people that don't know, the Japanese were in World War II very brutal to any of the people they captured. It was just kind of a known thing. In this case, it was one of the more extreme circumstances where not only some of them just normally tortured and killed and stuff, a series of them were food at a big banquet. Oh. So it was full cannibalism. I think when the war was over, 3 of the higher ups on the island were hung just for, being cannibals, that sort of thing. So he does the smart move, gets picked up by a submarine. The rest of the guys all died. Some of them literally, they talked about a banquet where they were serving the liver of the American soldiers that were stuck on the island. Eat.
Weird.
Not what I would pick. Thigh. They talk about thigh and liver. Anyway, for the rest of his life, he feels bad about the guys that were, the two other guys in his plane that didn't make it. That was a thing that haunted him for a while. But pretty crazy that this could have, of all the, let's say the 12 people, right? The 3 on his plane and the 8, or I guess the 11, and the 8 that landed on the thing. He's the one that survives this. He ends up becoming president. Pretty crazy.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. I know almost nothing about his presidency, but yeah, and then his son becomes president.
At the Rangers game.
That's right. That's right. He threw the most historic pitch at a baseball game when he threw it right
Yep.
after 9/11 happened. And then his son Jeb, obviously, big turtle guy, also. So that all happened as well.
Please clap.
Okay, we're gonna let in. That's the Chubb history here for you on George H.W. Bush. We're gonna let in here Frat Sullivan.
Recording live from somewhere.
Hello, this is Pat. Who's this?
This is Chubstep.
Oh, hey, Chubstep. I wasn't expecting you.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's interesting because you called us. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kidding. What's up, guys?
Hey, you're on the air.
Yeah, we are live. Good transition. So Pat, I wanted to have you on. I got a voicemail from my mom.
Okay.
And I just want you to listen to it and just kind of break this down. Let me know kind of what's going on here.
Can I get some background, some context?
Yeah, last week we were talking about how many hot dogs we could eat.
Okay.
On
because
the show.
Joey Prescott and Kobayashi are having one more hurrah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So
you know
then
all about you're up to date in your hot dog news like we are.
Yep.
All right.
So then, let's see. My mom left me this voicemail after listening to the show.
Listening to Chubstep, and I just want to tell you that one time when I was in college, I went to the Bory Barn on the Hamptons, and I ate 22 hot dogs. I don't think it was like it wasn't a contest or anything, but it was over the course of probably maybe 2 hours, and I'm not sure why I did that, but I did. Love you, and I miss you.
So for everyone listening, Paul, why don't you lay out the facts for us as clearly and as clearly as possible.
She listened to us talking about hot dogs, and then she said, left me a voicemail. She went to the Board Barn on the Hamptons or something and ate 22 hot dogs, not in a contest. No contest involved in about 2 hours. And she's not sure why she did it.
I hope there was some drinking involved.
Yeah, I would agree with Jay there. I think I could tell you why she did it.
Okay.
Paul, why do you think she did it?
I don't know. She might have been especially hungry after a long night of studying, probably.
Okay.
I don't know why I brought you on. I can't. This was a mistake.
Well, all right. Well, I'm sorry, and I will hang up at any point. But I was going to ask, what's the question here? Like what are we trying to get at?
Just
what
like a situation other than a contest where you would want to eat 22 hot dogs.
Yep. Yeah, Pat, let's say we're talking about actual hot dogs here. Let's say there's not any metaphors involved. How many times in a frat situation, since you're the frat expert, was this large amount of hot dogs involved?
So there was never hot dogs, but there was to win a trip to spring break. There was a chicken wing eating contest at Red Lion, which is the local establishment where all my buddies worked in college, and we went all the time. So they had this event because the owner of the bar also made a bunch of money off of us going to the same spot in spring break. He held a chicken wing eating contest, and the winning team, there's two of you, the winning team got to get a free trip to go to Cancun, which is where we went senior year spring break. I had a friend named JT who trained for 6 weeks.
Oh my God.
And took the pledges cafeteria cards and went to the dorm cafeteria. We were juniors. Went to the dorm cafeteria where the freshmen are, stole their dinner meals, and would eat as many chicken wings as possible. He thought it was a volume contest. No, the contest was how many wings can you eat in a short period of time.
Okay, so it was a speed thing.
For that.
Mm-hmm.
He gained 30 pounds.
Oh
he was
my
sick
God.
every single day. And so the answer to your question is no, there is no situation in which I would ever do that based on watching that unfold.
So, so Pat, he was going for like endurance instead of speed, and it was a speed competition.
Yeah, he was going for quantity and volume.
Yeah,
And he didn't read the fine print, and it was speed. And he picked some pledge who said, I can eat a ton of food. And they together probably ate 3 times as much as the other people. And then at the end, they realized they were losing because they found out that it was speed. So they were pacing themselves. But they still finished their place. But it was like over at that point because there was like intervals of the tournament. So they were out. Like the first team that was out. And they ended up eating the most.
He gained 30 pounds
eating after they were out.
Oh my god.
He was sick, so don't ever enter into one of those unless we're using wieners as a metaphor. If you're a woman or a man and you like that, then I feel like that's fine.
Yeah, we're gonna support that.
But also we're gonna support that. Any food eating competition, no, I'm out. It's a hard out.
All right. So it can naturally happen where you just have to eat 22 hot dogs. That's what I gained from that. Thank you for just kind of clearing my mind on that.
In no way do I feel like the language / diction I use in my previous statement supports that conclusion.
I think it does. I think it does pretty.
Okay. Yeah. However, this is your show, and I support you, Paul. I love you very much. So
yeah,
thanks,
I'm
Pat.
fine with that.
Thanks, Pat.
I was gonna say the last thing I wanted to ask Pat. Pat, I made a controversial statement. I said in 10 minutes, I said how many hot dogs could I eat, and I said I could definitely do 8. And people gave me a hard time and said, "Oh, only 8." You know, they were saying 8, and I was like, "Well, you can't do 8." And they were like making fun of me that I could only do 8. I'm just saying I know I could do 8. I was putting my bar was 8. How many do you think you could do in 10 minutes?
Yeah, bro, there's no way you're eating 8 hot dogs in 10 minutes. The bun too?
Yeah, the bun. You think 8 is a high number, Pat?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's very high.
You're nuts. That's low.
You ever try that saltine challenge?
Yeah, those are hot. You get water. Like, this isn't the saltine challenge. That's just hard because you run out of mouth water.
Saliva. It's called
whatever.
But yeah.
All right, doctor. All right, Mr. Doctor.
I'm not a doctor, but you can call saliva. I don't. Okay. I have a memory from a Memorial Day when I was younger, where I watched my uncle and his friends do a hot dog eating contest, and I think they only got to like 5 or 6.
That's
like
weak.
Nobody got over 6.
Okay.
Well, have you ever done this before, Jay? Paul? Any idea?
I only tried eating 1 hot dog really fast, and it was harder than I thought. It did take longer than I thought, but I was doing it drunk in the middle of a bar. So I think that's part of it. And I'm no Paul's mom. I'm not throwing down 22 in 2 hours. I know that.
It runs in the family. See, this is why I'm not scared of like 8. I know I could do more than 8.
There's another joke there. I'm not going to touch it. I don't want to hijack your whole podcast hour here, but Jay, what would be your strategy?
So, I mean, you gotta follow the grades, right? You got to dip the bun in the lemonade. They typically do lemonade, and you dip the bun in the lemonade, and then if you're doing a pro, I mean, they do 2 hot dogs at a time. So they eat the 2 buns, and then they grab the 2 hot dogs side by side, wide mouth, and you're sucking down 2 hot dogs at a time.
I don't think that strategy is the way.
Paul, this segment here, you're doing this, assuming knowing your mom probably listens to this.
Yeah, she's going to listen to it. She'll be flattered because I knew Pat was going to call her hot. She's going to be flattered.
Okay, and then
well, is she still single?
Yeah, she is. I also wanted to bring that up. You're good, Pat. You can date my mom. Reverse Bill Belichick.
Paul's mom, I think you're beautiful. Just throwing this out there. I'm also single too, so love you. Okay, continue with your show, guys. Go on.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, you think that she had to have known this was gonna be set up for something. I mean, like, just the way she phrased her comment is
I
it was a
honestly
setup
don't.
from the
I
beginning.
don't think she knew that voicemail. I think she's like, "Oh, I ate a bunch of hot dogs one time."
Okay, that's fair.
I got a suggestion, and then I'll leave you guys be. Are you gonna do this contest? Like, are you guys gonna go
Well, you're right.
head-to-head? And
He's got it right here, Paul.
We got to do a hot dog contest, hot dog eating competition. Are we doing 1v1 Chubstep, or should we bring some others in?
Maybe we bring in some Chubstep greats. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like I'm not a Chubstep great, but I'd love to be a part of this competing.
you're like a 2-3 time guest now. I mean,
Yeah, Pat, I would say
that's
you
good
actually
enough.
you do win an award for Chubstep. You're the most censored guest we ever had on the show.
I love to hear it, Jay. Thank you. That just made my night.
You're the only guest that had their episode pulled.
What?
It got re-uploaded.
It got re-uploaded. Jared pulled it to take out some stuff.
That was the speed show I saw.
Yeah, you're right.
That was
wasn't
the
a Chubstep episode.
That was not. It's not canon. That
You're right.
episode.
You're right. Not canon. Not canon. All right.
Oh my god. Oh, you guys plan this out. Let me know. I'll be there. In the meantime, I'll try to do some elimination videos because I'm behind on that.
Okay.
Perfect.
Well, nobody will know what that means, but
yeah, no reference.
If you want
delete
to be in the hot dog competition, email the show along with the reaction shot of
Chubstep.podcast@gmail.com.
yourself.
We can do it. We can do it live on YouTube or something. We can figure something out.
Yeah, we can make that happen.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, Frat.
I guarantee none of us are eating more than 6. But thank you guys for having me on the show. It's always a pleasure. You guys are smart, wonderful, amazing men. And Paul's mom is hot. I wish you guys the best. Have a good night.
Thank
Wow,
you.
thanks, Pat.
Thank you.
Kind words.
Kind words. Very kind person.
All right, take care. Take care, boys.
Later.
All right, we'll wrap it up there, people. YouTube, Chubstep Podcast, Instagram, Chubstep Podcast, email the show, chubstep.podcast@gmail.com. We told you all the reasons. If you want to get in the hot dog eating contest, if you want to send your reactions for our thumbnails, all that kind of stuff. Share the episodes with a friend. The show has ended. Be gone.
Now you know you got to go.
Peace. This is Yasin.